Today we're headed to Dr. Andrew Huberman's favorite spa, sauna, ice bath place in New York City. And I've got my son here, Tejas, as always.
Really?
Spa 88. Spa 88. Spa 88.
But this place is like a Russian banya, so it's a Russian bathhouse. There's gonna be sauna, cold plunges, steam room, chill area, food. And I'm gonna show you the entire experience, what it's like, what's over there.
Now, why sauna and ice baths? Well, it's been trending on social media. It seems like all the cool people are doing it, and I've always wanted to be cool. I've always wanted to fit in. So maybe if we go here, finally I'll be accepted amongst all my friends. But there are two key things that I want you to take away from this. One is Dynorphin, and two is the Søeberg Principle.
I don't know what these things are, man. I have zero clue.
More on that later.
And what's really funny is Tyler's run club is called Endorphins. So today he's joining the Dynorphins club.
How much does this cost?
That's a great question. I think it's like 55, 65 bucks.
You didn't tell me that, man.
You just agreed and you said yes and that's it.
Yeah, I was like, I want to hang out with Tyler.
Out of all the different bathhouses that I've tried, this is definitely one of the cheaper ones. Some of them can range from like $60, $70, and this I think is on the cheaper end. It's also older looking and more old school.
Before going to the sauna and ice bath studio, I highly recommend that you hydrate. Drink a lot of water and electrolytes, and don't eat a large meal right before you go. This is Tyler, founder of a running group in New York City, and he produces more energy than the sun. Now, what do you need to take with you to the spa? All you need is a swimsuit.
I literally didn't bring something to wear. I'm gonna have to wear these.
They have a towel pickup section where you can go ahead and grab one towel at a time, no more than that. There will be sandals that you can borrow. You can bring your own too, but just the ease of convenience, I typically like to use theirs.
All right, this is Huberman's favorite spa. These are all of the famous people that have been here.
It's a relatively easy check-in process. You'll exchange your wallet for a key for the locks in the locker rooms. They do have hats and swimsuits for purchase. I do highly recommend covering your hair with a hat or a towel. It's just gonna help protect it, especially when in the sauna, from any kind of damage. You'll sign your life away on this waiver and head to the locker number that's placed on your key. I appreciate that the lockers are big enough to fit my big backpack, and typically I'll leave everything in there except for my swimsuit. I typically like to leave my water in the locker room as well. I'll come grab it as I need. I just don't want to be heating up any plastics or any kind of metal that can get extremely hot in the sauna. Now, when you enter inside of the spa place, there are probably four major sections. One is the sauna, schwitz, and cold showers, cold plunge area. So you'll be able to go into the dry sauna, and there's like 4 levels. Obviously, the highest one is the hottest one, and if it's way too hot, I recommend starting at the bottom. The schwitz is more of a humid sauna, as well as buckets with cold water. You can fill it up, pour it on yourself if you get too hot. And if you want to have a Platz experience where they slap you with these leaves, you can do that too. I was too scared to try it.
Basically, you cover your groin and then they beat you with the leaves, and it's supposed to bring the vasculature to the surface. I've only done it once, and frankly, I found it to be a little bit unnerving.
But maybe one day. Then they have the coldest cold plunge I've ever tried. It's massive. It can fit like 6 people, I think. It's 5 feet deep, so you get right into your collarbone. I really like starting with this just to get my dopamine endorphins going and just super excited. And this is kind of the main area I like to play in. Next, you have the steam room. If you prefer more of a humid environment, it can be good for your lungs as well. Not as hot. It can be hard to see inside, and then they've got these cool little columns in each corner. And then as you walk out, they have an infrared sauna and a cold room. I almost rarely use these, so just not as extreme temperatures, but if you're just getting started, great place to start. The next section is kind of the food and lounge area. There's kind of like a restaurant. You can order food, drinks if you forgot your water. It's kind of nice to take breaks, because if you're really jumping from the hot to the cold, it's actually exhausting. It gets really tiring. If you're not well hydrated, you don't have enough nutrients, it's going to take a massive toll on your body. So take breaks in between. I haven't tried the food yet, but maybe one day. And then the third section is kind of their lounge and VIP area. So you can rent a space if you're going to have like a birthday party or something. You can have your own private space as well as a super private space. Not sure what goes on in the VIP area. I think there's like a jacuzzi and stuff in there too, supposedly. And then the fourth and final space is the pool, smoking area, and a hot tub. So if you're into smoking, unlike me, you can do that inside of a closed room. And then the pool is just a place to hang out, kind of wade and walk around. And then the hot tub, which sadly wasn't working the day that we were there, but just another place to lounge. It's just not as extreme, and a great place to hang out and talk with your friends. One of the goals of going here is to stimulate the release of Dynorphin. What is Dynorphin, you may ask? It is that terrible feeling that you get when you get into these really extreme temperatures. So it's kind of the opposite of endorphin, but what it allows you to do is when you release Dynorphin, later on, when you do have a release of endorphin, you actually feel it even greater. It also stimulates heat shock proteins and mTOR, so there's a likelihood that it can increase growth hormone and all these other factors to help with recovery and increasing muscle size and mass.
So you have to be very careful, right? Heat can kill you. You got to hydrate. You need to make sure you get enough salt. This is work, right? But you see in these human studies up to 16-fold increases in growth hormone. So you can imagine this could exert some very strong reparative effect if you're training for a big event or endurance event, or maybe you're just really wiped out from the week. This is a stressor but it's a stressor that delivers a potent growth hormone response.
And then inside of the ice bath or cold plunge, research has shown that it can increase your dopamine up to 200 to 300%, even hours after you've done it. So if you just want that electrical shot of just this feeling of feeling really good, motivated, and wanting to chase after things, the cold plunge can be a great way to do that.
Ice baths, it's like but for sober people.
Huberman recommends 57 minutes of sauna per week in total and 11 minutes of cold plunge per week in total. Not all at the same time, but just in total over the entire week. You could easily get all this done at one session at the Spa 88 if you wanted to. But some other benefits of the sauna, it can nuke your sperm.
They will reduce viable sperm count. So for males that are trying to reproduce, trying to create children, you want to be careful about hot baths and hot sauna too often.
So if you're trying to have kids, probably a good idea to keep a cold pack down there. It can increase mental resilience. Supposedly it can help with fat loss. Video coming out, turn on notifications if you want to see that. Now the Søeberg Principle, using cold to stimulate your metabolism. The idea and the concept is that if you end on cold, it's going to force your body to naturally reheat up and thus increasing your metabolism.
Then if you really want to push it, you can do things like don't use a towel, use evaporation, spread out your limbs and don't huddle so that you have to shiver more, etc. I mean, there are a lot of little games you can play.
And that's how we would end. Then it was finally time to go shower and change, grab one more towel. They do have like one soap, not like Equinox style of 4 different kinds of soaps, so be mindful of that. They have slippers that you need to put back into the baskets. And then once you check out, you'll bring your key. They'll be able to unlock your box, give your wallet back, and that's when you pay, which is around like $55, $60. You'll pay for anything that you purchase, whether it's water, food, and any tip you want to add. And that concludes the experience.
All right, we just finished our spa experience at Spa 88 here in the Ukrainian spa. And feeling refreshed, feeling amazing, ready to take on the world.
I asked the lady, she said if I can get 6 million YouTube subscribers, that they'll put my face on the wall. So make sure to subscribe, turn on your notifications for future videos, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Since you enjoyed this video, go watch my video where I tried Huberman's sleep routine, linked right here.